Hey, Flowmies, it's time for another edition of the ITF Flowcast. So you are in for a treat this week. We have an interview with Carlos Gonzalez, the CEO of EBC, Enviro Bio Cleaner Inc. He is a legend in the industry, both in window cleaning, but mostly in soft washing and pressure washing. He ran his own company, the New Look Power Wash, in LA. For over 20 years, but he has a super interesting background. He sat down with our very own Nando Medina, and they talked a lot about his life growing up in foster homes, coming out of the Navy, working as a salesman in Silicon Valley, and how he took all of that life experience and converted it into a successful business and eventually into this journey as a CEO of EBC. But he's a fascinating guy, very introspective, very thoughtful. I know you're going to enjoy it. Has a lot of cool stories, and you can just tell that even though he's a CEO and has a lot of business sense, his love was with that power washing and with the soft washing, and it'll really come out as he's definitely a workman at heart. So you're going to really enjoy it. But we did want to take a little bit of time just to talk about the auction that we had for Colin. It went really good. We really appreciate all of the vendors, and we want to give them a shout out right now. We had Detroit Sponge had offered an Unger transformer box up for auction. ABC Window Cleaning had offered Triple Crown 12-inch or 12-foot trad pole, but they also offered a trad pole water fed combo, which is pretty sweet. We had some Squeegee Life towels offered by TJ from Squeegee Life and also from Alex at WCR. The PH7 crew, Caleb made some ITF trucker hats, which were pretty smooth. We had a couple of those sold. Also, Tim Huber of Outlaw Window Cleaning, he had a mug and T-shirt, and that was like, I mean, many people bid on that. That's every time they offer something, it's really in demand. Sean Hill from Nice Job had offered a 3-month free plan for there, and also the onboarding, which is getting your website and business set up for use with Nice Job, and that was a really awesome gift. Plus, I should mention, not only did they offer that, whatever they paid, they offered to match that donation as well. So that was very generous of them. Alex at WCR also offered a maker sleeve system starter kit, which was really cool. We had Frank Rave and WCR offer a Frank Rave starter kit. That also had a pretty fun bidding war going on as well. Corey at Coastal Cleaners, of course, he's one of our mods here. He had offered 12 gutter sticks, which was a pretty cool a deal. And then Nando Medina, he had offered some bucket harnesses. He had 5 of them, all of them sold. So that was really cool. Ray at Area Pro, he had offered a Battle Cat scrubber bundle that was in demand as well. We had some bids on that. Jersey had offered a year subscription to the AWC magazine, and someone generously made it was a value of about $130. They made a $200 donation towards that, so that was really super generous of that person. Also, we had Randy of Window Magic. She had offered an Unger bundle, but both her and Richie of Maker had come together for the sweet Maker handy sleeve bundle. I mean, I bid on this, and I was so sad that I didn't win on this one. But they had a bunch of really cool combo with pretty much anything you need to have a nice Maker set. TJ from Squeegee Life had also offered a Tucker Alpha Boar's hair with swivel. That was one that also got just about all of the value in the bidding. And Victoria at Reciprocity 5 had offered an Aftershocks Aeropex bone conduction. That went really well too. That had a pretty good high bidding. And then lastly, we had some Into the Flow t-shirts. I offered 10 of them. We had 8 of them sold. I'm going to go ahead and just have the 10 made, and we'll have a couple extra if anybody wants any. If you want one of the 2 remaining, let me know. Make a donation to the GoFundMe page, and I'll get one shipped out to you. So overall, a really nice showing. So we don't know for sure. We're still tallying the results, but right now it looks like we raised about $2,200 for Colin and his family. So that's pretty awesome. Flowmies, thank you guys all for your support. support, and especially thank all the vendors who we just mentioned for being willing to be so generous whenever we have these fundraisers, and helping all of us to come together to help a window cleaner in need. So anyhow, that's all the news now. So we'll get back into the interview as Nando interviews Carlos Gonzalez.
What's going on, Flowmies? Fernando Medina from Pro Windows in Los Angeles, California. And today I got a special treat for you guys. I want to introduce you guys a king, a legend, a person that has so many words, that so much knowledge that you guys can learn from it. And it's a very good pleasure of mine being here behind this screen, talking to this guy, mano a mano. Let me introduce him. President, CEO of Enviro Bio Cleaner, Inc., also known as EBC, former previous owner of New Look Power Wash.
Yep.
And Carlos, it's a pleasure having you here today, man. I appreciate your taking time from your busy schedule, because I know you're a busy man.
Fernando, thank you so much. I mean, a little background for the listeners out there that are viewing this. We've been trying to get this podcast together, you and I, several months.
Yeah.
And obviously with your business that you're doing down in Los Angeles and Southern California, all throughout Orange County and stuff, and obviously what's going on with EBC, it's just been difficult to pin each other down and carve out a few minutes, if you will, of our busy schedule to talk to each other. But it's certainly an honor, a pleasure to be aboard here and hook up with you finally.
Finally, man, we made it. So here we are. But you know what? We want to talk about, we want to learn about your history, your business. But before we get into all of the good stuff, because we know you're running the whole show worldwide, let's who is Carlos Gonzalez? Where do you come from, Carlos? Where were you originally?
Oh gosh, boy, I tell you, if I could only write a book about just my upbringing and whatnot, I'll keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was born in Los Angeles. That's where my family kind of landed. And as a little kid, we moved around the country a lot. Grew up as a young kid, as a young buck, as they say, in and out of foster home, believe it or not.
Oh.
Yeah. That people know that, and not to get too personal and stuff,
Right.
but my mother was a dependent drinker, and so we, as children, as kids, my brothers and sisters, we were kind of shuffled back and forth between foster homes. And after high school, I joined the Navy. I was there for 5 years, and
Thank you for your service, sir.
yeah. I was active duty Navy. Like I said, for 5 years, I was stationed overseas in Japan and able to visit a lot of different countries all over the world. After 5 years, I decided that's enough. I'm okay with the Navy. So I was discharged in San Francisco, Treasure Island. That was a naval facility at the time. And soon thereafter, I started working in nonprofits, services, at homeless shelters, and substance abuse treatment centers, different things like that. And over the course of time, that's when I met my beautiful wife. Close to 30 years now that we've been married.
Oh, wow.
And yeah. And we have a beautiful daughter, Madison, who is about 25, I think. We've been just really blessed with family unit that we have. We are currently in Northern California, San Francisco Bay Area, and kind of got into the pressure washing industry by accident. And a little background on that, I was working in Silicon Valley a long time ago. Gosh, it's been 25 plus years ago. And I was down in Silicon Valley during the initial .com boom, where Google was created, this and that. And as quick as I was down there, I lost my job of lack of funding. literally, I sat at home bored, not quite sure what I want to do in my life. Scratching my head, figuring out, gosh, I lost my job. I didn't get fired. Just the company folded. And in a fit of boredom, I decided to borrow my neighbor's ladder and rented a pressure washing cold water unit from local rental yards here in the Bay Area,
Okay.
and started pressure washing my house. Just straight water, cold water application, just pounding away on the stucco. And
Ricky, I think we all
yeah, well, no, I even used a red tip. I didn't know what that. I didn't even know what the red tip was about, or that. No experience whatsoever. And I just etched the crap out of some of the stucco in my back of the house.
Oh.
But you know, during that time when I was washing my residence, I really got into it. I really enjoyed it. And I said to myself, you know, with my sales background, because that's what I did down in Silicon Valley. I was director of sales company. Figured that, you know, with my sales background and with pressure washing, I might be able to do something with this.
Yeah.
Back then, this was before Facebook. This was really, the internet was just coming into its own.
So this was early, what, 2000s?
Gosh, let's see. I've been in the pressure washing industry now for 24 years.
Wow.
So it was right around the 23, 24 year, 25-year period, because I didn't jump in right away. I did my research. I did my research on the local area where I wanted to start my company to see my competitor was.
Yeah.
And to my surprise, there wasn't that many pressure washing companies in the San Francisco Bay Area at that time. It just wasn't there. We had the Yellow Pages, so I was on the Yellow Pages. Google was just starting to gain traction. But I said to myself, you know what? Nobody's hiring. I don't want to drive down to Silicon Valley every single day and work down there, so let me try. And I've been at it ever since. I grew my company from just a local type service, and at the height of 2019 is when I sold my pressure washing business. 2018, 2019, I was overseeing 3 different states: California, Nevada, Arizona. I was always down in LA washing.
So when it came to doing in your business, because you expanded a lot, obviously from Northern California, you went to different states all the time. What did you do to do all that?
Where did I learn?
Yeah, or how did you manage to start different states jobs?
Well, what happened was it really was twofold. Number one, I'm a workaholic. I'm kind of like you.
Yeah.
I see you out there. You're always making moves. You're up at, before the sun comes up, and you're out there making moves at, whether you're in front of the computer, submitting bids, or you're out there getting in front of clients at night, in the evening, site visits, this and that. And so that was the operation tempo that I started with. And my business really was focused on just residential in the local area. I didn't have a hot water machine. I didn't have a skid. My first pressure washing unit was a water unit that I bought from home. And it was borrowed ladders. I had a beat up old Volvo, a chunky looking car. Homemade flyers that I would make, just kind of like an etch sketch type thing, clip art type thing. Nothing professional. And I went door to door. I started knocking on doors in my division that I lived in at the time. And I would just ask me a shot. Give me a shot to earn your business.
So you just went out there and nailed it and said, let me do it.
Boots to the ground and was knocking on doors. So I gained experience
As you will.
from a residential component to keep me motivated. You know, I was making money, not great money, mind you, but I was making enough money to keep the lights on, keep food on the table.
Most important.
And that was my goal. I had no aspirations to become this 3-state pressure washing business. So we developed a website. We had a website built, and I did all the SEO for that. I just basically hired a pressure or a web design company just to give me a site. Don't worry about the SEO. I'll do that. And I spent countless hours at night, 2, 3 in the morning running blog. Back then it was blogs.
Right. Yeah.
Keywords in the blog. You know, attach a URL to it or a redirect link to your website, this and that. So it was a painstaking process where you're trying to think of things to write. I was running out of ideas about blog. But over time, it took me about 2 seasons, I started ranking. And I was dominating that at that time. Now Google was in its prime. Everybody was talking about Google and this is what you need to do. Facebook wasn't around. In the industry, we had bulletin board. But that was my first interaction with other contractors across the United States was through the bulletin boards. Oh,
interesting, man.
Yeah, so it was just a different animal then.
Yeah, and here we are. You're from one era where you did all of your own SEO and meetings on bulletins and all that, versus someone who's on Google with how technology has evolved from your standpoint when you started till now, and people that take advantage of that, man. When I met you, and I met you for the very first time at one of Doug's training class that you had. We'll get a little more into details into the training parts that you do, but when I heard you talk your story and about business and marketing and all that stuff, and I was like, man, there's times you connect with people just based on the words that they say, the history, the struggles in life and things. There's something about it that, man, I've been through that, and you know what, I feel this guy's pain. You just make that instant connection, and you become to an inspiration, not just to me, but to many people out there, man. That you're a living legend. You're look what you're doing, man. Like,
I appreciate that, Fernando, and people that know me, and obviously you and I have hung out down in Southern California. I take photos with a humble,
you do,
humble acceptance.
You are a very humble person, man. You are.
This industry has been very good to me from day one. Obviously, we all have our ups and downs. As business owners, as entrepreneurs, there's always those days where you just don't feel like doing anything.
Yeah.
And I would be lying to you if I felt there has been many times I wanted to throw in the towel, not only from a washing standpoint, but even more current, even with EBC. We launched EBC about 10, actually next year will be our 10th year anniversary.
Oh, wow.
So go back 10 years, EBC was just, I knew I had something good. I knew that the formula that I had, I knew the product worked. A lot of trial and error, a lot of testing with it. And we launched EBC throughout the United States by giving it away. That's how EBC really, really got its foot in the industry.
Yeah, it's very good.
And we've been on a really a fantastic path since that first day with EBC. Today we have operations in 14 countries.
Wow.
We're at.
That's amazing, man. Pretty impressive. So that's you sold the business in 2019, and you just
people have asked me, because going into as a washer, it's in your DNA. As a window cleaner, it's in your DNA. Other people don't understand what we think about as either a window cleaner, as a pressure washer, but more importantly as a entrepreneur or business. We live and die this stuff. It's part of our DNA. So as a washer, as a business owner in the pressure washing industry, I said, well, I'm going to do this the day that I die. And I had to make a decision around 2018. I kind of knew that because of the growth of EBC, EBC was just blew by New Look Power Wash.
Right.
And I had to make a decision to say to myself, you know, are you going to give EBC the due attention that you need to give it because of its scale up? Or are you going to try to manage both companies? And it was hard, you know, very little sleep, you know, washing all night. At that point in 2000, you know, later in my career, as far as washing, I doing residential, was all just strict commercial. That's what took me throughout, you know, Southern California, into Arizona, into Nevada, Oregon. And I was a sole proprietor. I didn't have crews. I didn't have techs working.
So you didn't have helpers with you, like people that you go out and do it all on your own?
What's that?
You used to go out and do it all on your own?
Oh yeah, yeah. All the jobs that that people have seen in the past with New Look Power Wash, that's me.
Holy shit.
So my days and my nights just really merged together. My Mondays through Mondays were all the same. There was no Sunday. There was no Saturday. There was just the drive and the sacrifice. And there's a reason for that. You know, my family, my wife understood where my mind was.
Yeah.
And nothing comes easy.
No, it doesn't, obviously.
And sometimes you have to pound and pound and pound and pound and pound away and sacrifice things in your life because you're in that moment of your business cycle where you have to do that. And what business owners fail to understand, or I think they understand it, but they just don't feel it. When we start a business, we started here, and we automatically, immediately want to get to here.
Yeah, it doesn't
but
work.
We don't want to take the steps to get this. And that's the mentality that I had going into with EBC. And I knew like I said, I knew I had a great product. It was just a matter of getting it in front of the contractor community. And I'm so grateful and humbled that the pressure washing industry, the colleagues that I've known over the years, they opened up their doors and said, you know, let's give Lowe's a shot at this. So it's what it's all about.
Right.
And from that day on, we've assembled a great team with EBC. I have some really wonderful distributors that work with me, not only here in the United States, but worldwide. We just really have a great time interacting with each other. And it's a fun endeavor. I created a business model, not so much directed towards sales projections. It's more of a business model that we live on this earth one time.
Oh, definitely.
Let's have fun.
Yeah.
We don't make the sale,
move on.
the world's not going to end.
Yeah, it's not. Exactly.
Let's enjoy each other. Let's come up with some crazy ideas and work together as a team. So that the energy that we've created, people that are part of the team, like Nick Hopkins for, you know, not only Australia, but Southeast Asia, Kenya, my Switzerland division, Heinrich Greensmith for UK, my Monterey, Mexico division, my Cabo San Lucas division, my British Columbia division up in Canada, what we have in the Cayman Islands, and certainly in the United States, our distributors here that all of us know, Jay Ranstein,
yeah,
Power Wash Store, powerwash.com, Michael Hindelander down in Texas, and the list goes on and on and on. You got the folks at Clean Pro Supply in New York. Gosh, Sherwin-Williams
Yeah, yeah.
paint stores.
I haven't seen
Is
it
our
at
client.
another local shop around here. Well, it's not too close to me, but I go get service. My
So
washers.
the inference that we kind of lay out there in front of everybody is that it's okay to make mistakes. And
Oh, yeah.
it's as long as we're growing, as long as we're having fun, what else is there in life? Is it about money? Well, yeah, you need money to survive. And obviously, I do want my distributors to put their best foot forward as far as advertising and this and that. But what's more important for me is that they're happy, they're okay, and they're making decent money by selling our soap and being part of our management team, being part of the travels that I do. I mean, obviously, I think you've seen some of the things that we have done over the years, the Cabo San Lucas event. I enjoy, traveling to Australia to Rome. We have another, we have a facility in Italy as well. So it's that experience that I just can't replace that. You just can't do it.
No. Live
Can't do
every
it.
day, and then mistakes, regardless, they happen. I think that's what makes a business stronger, and you just keep
Yeah.
pushing forward regardless. Keep us you if you wake up the next morning, big smile on your face. I had a customer. We went to a customer's house yesterday, and I've been working with this customer since 2009. She's a very, very popular person in the political world. Her husband, very known, very good. He was one of the person that was involved with the very first satellite communication satellite that was launched into space back in early 1900s. So very
Oh, wow.
respectful people. And it was when I learned about them, I was like, wow. So every time I used to go to this lady's house, I was always smiling. I was, hey, how are you? Always happy. My motivation every morning, happy. Hey, I woke up. That's a sign. I did something good today before yesterday. Let me go out there. So she's always, when I come to her house, she's like, Fernando, I just love it when you come to my house. You bring this happy vibe to my house because why are you always smiling? I woke up today. I did something good. I said, well, it's not about, I'm not thinking about, oh, how much money am I going to go make today? I woke up. I said, let me go make somebody's day even better by brightening up their day, right? We're cleaning windows. We're brightening up their day. So before we lose your pressure washing business, I just got to ask one question. Do you miss your pressure washing days?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It's well, I referenced earlier that, it's part of our DNA. And after 19, 20 years of just pounding away I won't say every single night, but I was very busy for those 20 plus years. You just can't turn it off.
Yeah.
And I don't miss the nights as much as I thought I would.
Yeah.
But when I'm on Facebook and I'm interacting with colleagues that are still washing, that I actually washed with or trained with over the years, and I see them out there at 2 a.m, they're on Facebook, or I'm up late working on marketing or whatever, and I see, that little green dot that they're online, but they go live. Yeah, I missed that. But when I sold New Look, I knew that I was going to be extremely busy with EBC. And it's just really weird. It's, my days start at 5:30 in the morning after my first cup of coffee. I check in with the European divisions. I check all of them. It's just nonstop. It's just nonstop until 7, 8 o'clock, sometimes 8:30, 9 o'clock at night. And we just, it's just a switch. Just a switch of mentality, and you got to be able to manage that and stay focused and whatnot. But I have enough on my plate to keep me busy.
All right. Well, that's good, man. That's as long as you're staying busy, obviously you're doing bigger things. How long after you close the doors to your business, you signed off your deal, you collected your check and all that, I'm sure you probably had one of those nights where you got up in the middle, like, oh man, I gotta go do these jobs or something, or do I gotta go work, do some break, or did you completely shut it off?
My last night of washing was a city contract up here in the Bay Area. It was a bus terminal. It was on a quarterly basis. And I purposely went very slow on that last contract and I stretched it out until about 2 in the morning. I'm usually finished by midnight, but I just milked that as long as I could because
Just
I
dancing
knew this
around with
was
that
it.
one, right?
Yeah, yeah. And going real slow behind a surface cleaner. I mean, that's, a turtle could have passed me up. But I left everything at that job site. I
Wow.
did a video thanking everybody. That was part of my journey as a pressure washing contractor. Got emotional. I'm not going to lie to you. It got emotional for me at the end because,
It's a piece of you, man.
well, this was it. I can't go back and redo this. This
Right.
is a chapter of my life that,
Yeah.
and for the viewers out there, for those that are listening, as you progress from year 2 to year 5 to year 8 to year 10, whatever your run is, cherish that moment. Cherish these times right now because there is going to be a time where you turn that key off one last time on that rig, or that water fed pool that's going up on those 5, 6 story buildings that you enjoy doing.
Yeah,
It's
with
going to be
that.
your last trip around the sun with
Yeah.
that. And once you close that chapter in your life, it's just different. I've been fortunate because I had a plan B already in motion. We simultaneously had EBC going and also New Look. So I knew I wasn't leaving the industry per
The industry,
se.
you're still part of it.
It's just that, with all the new guys coming into the industry now, some guys reach out to me and say, well, do you actually pressure wash? So I have to go back and tell them, yeah, I used to be a washing company, for 20 some years, but now I own EBC, this and that. So it's a bittersweet moment, but no, I don't wake up in the middle of the night, texting you, say, hey brother, wait, break me off something good.
Right. Show me the
Yeah,
suds.
yeah. So
Wow.
it's all
So
good.
for those of viewers that don't know what EBC is, EBC is a degreaser, concentrated degreaser, correct?
Yeah.
It's a soap that we use for degreasing. We use it on dumpster pads. Carlos Gonzalez used it a lot. Some people use it on gas stations. I personally like to use that in my house wash mixes. It releases that dirt real good. And it's environmental friendly, which most Southern Californian people love because we have a lot of green, a lot of delicate plants out here. So it doesn't hurt those things. He also has some other products out there, EBC Restorer and EBC Glide. What at what point did you think about EBC Glide? Because I think EBC Glide was pushed towards the window cleaning industry because of windows, obviously, right? When did you pull that out?
Well, EBC Glide is essentially today on a rebirth product.
Okay.
EBC Glide has actually been around for about 7 years. And as a pressure washing contractor, me going into the window cleaning industry was scary because back then our industry was segmented. There was compartmentized basically. You had pressure washers, you had window cleaners, exhaust cleaners. So we had our own little section in life. So when you have a pressure washing contractor jump over that invisible line and get into the window cleaning industry and try to tell window veterans, guys that sleep with their squeegees, guys that have been around for decades, when you have a pressure washing contractor that is not known in the window cleaning industry coming over and trying to say, hey, try my soap, it's a tough sale.
It is.
So what we did with EBC Glide back then, before we launched it, is we did put it in front of a handful of window cleaning contractors, specifically just for squeegee work. And they offered some very sound feedback to us about characteristics, the formulation of EBC Glide. And at that time, when I thought, oh God, I got a winner here, but when I got the feedback from them, I realized I have a lot more work to do this blend. So I let EBC Glide just kind of sit. And I'm more of a thinker. I think things through versus just reactive. I don't make decisions. I try not to make decisions by just reacting on what's going on today. I try to look at what decision I make today as far as any of my products or anything I do from a business standpoint, not so much the immediate impact, but what's it going to affect 2 years down the road or 3 years down the road.
Right.
So right at the same time, Fernando, washing contractors in our industry in general, it's very important for the listeners to, and I'm sure the listeners will understand this, that have been staying abreast with what's going on in our industries on a national level. As I mentioned earlier, we were always segmented. We stuck to our own. Window cleaners, we hung with window cleaners. Washing contractors, we hung with pressure washing contractors. And if you saw a pressure washing contractor hanging out with window cleaners, man, what was you doing over there with those guys? You know that they don't wash. What they do is they take this little rubber thing over windows. And the same thing with window cleaners. Yeah. You're hanging out with a pressure washing contractor. What the heck's wrong with you? So that was that stigma. But as you know, over the last 5 years in our industry, we have what we call somewhat of a cross-pollination now of going on in our industry. We have technology coming from the window cleaning industry that is benefiting pressure washing contractors. We also, at the same time, have technology, advancements in technology in the pressure washing industry that window cleaners are grabbing things from the pressure washing world and saying, you know what? This is a useful tool, and it's going to save me time and money.
Very.
So I was kind of just standing on the sidelines and saw this merging, this commingling starting to happen. And I said to myself, now's the time to bring Glide back in, but with a different perspective. We wanted Glide to be available for use both in the window cleaning industry and also for the pressure washing contractor. Pressure washing contractors, by nature, do not want to be doing this.
You just want to spray them down and get on with it.
We're rough. We like to pop gum. We don't want to be sensitive around window sills. We like to slam into things. So early on, right around the second launch of EBC Glide, back to my chemist and also the blending facility that we have, EBC Glide made at. And I said, this is what I want. And I can't accept anything less. And I need a product that you can add as an additive into your house wash soap. Pressure washing contractor can downstream it or apply it on a building, rinse it off, and let it air dry. Now, I'm not asking for perfection. It's not going to replace the squeegee. EBC Glide is not here to put window cleaners out of business or anything like that. But we have enough pressure washing contractors in the industry today that they want to deliver a quality final product. And if those windows aren't shining, they're not looking good. We want to be able to offer them the tool to accomplish that in short order. And the same thing applies with the window cleaners. I know the Glass Clean 3s, Glass Clean 4 is out there, and that seems to be the 800-pound gorilla, for lack of a better term. And that it's a wonderful soap. Glass Clean is a terrific window cleaning soap. But we also want to get Glide in front of the window cleaners and I want, I want squeegee work done with it. I want to know what it's doing now. And you were gracious enough to do a video about EBC Glide.
And I thought that was sorry to interrupt you, but I thought that was a perfect opportunity because on this particular glass, it's inside of a water park, indoor water park. So the suds from that whatever is the buildup in there, it just, when I use regular Dawn soap and all that stuff, I still get some streaks behind because of all that suds that's on the glass. But you know what? And I went over to Jay Racingstein, and they decided to hand me some bodies. They're like, hey, Carlos said to take these 2 bottles and go out there and give them a try. So I remembered I had them in my truck. I'm like, oh, this is a perfect time. Let me test them on these ones because I know I always have a hard time perfect results. So I applied it directly to my mop. I said, let me go full strength. That's going to tell me, then if I can dilute it based on how I like it. Sure enough, man, I put that thing up there and I started. I was able to fan my squeegee back and forth a couple of times. I'm like, wow, this thing is still rubbing. So it was perfect. I loved it. I use it. I haven't used it in my soft wash services yet because we still go up there and we have to clean the glass. Our customers, hey, no, after the house wash, I want you to clean my windows by hand. But if it's a hot day, I'm sure it's going to help out in the fact where I'm going to have any stress.
Exactly. And you hit on a real good point there, Fernando, is that, if we're able, not just us at EBC, but any manufacturer, whether it be Glass Clean, whether it be the folks that, are on the pressure washing side of the world as far as manufacturing blends, if we're able to provide a product to the end user, the contractor, whether it be window cleaners or pressure washers, and it saves them time and money on a project, and it's a proven product time and time again, where you get the feedback from people, again, where everybody's on Facebook these days, so that seems to be the water hole for a lot of us in the cleaning industry. We have all of our groups, and word gets around on Facebook from one group to the next about a good product or a bad product. But if we're able to consistently get or receive the feedback that we're having today on EBC Glide, not only from the window cleaners, but also the pressure washing world, then to me, that's smart business.
Yeah, it is.
Smart business.
Yeah.
So, we're in no rush to overtake the world or anything like that. That's not the motive behind EBC Glide. It's more, my mentality is small steps, long vision.
Yeah.
We want to earn your business. We don't want you to do a review on EBC Glide because Fernando said it's good.
Right.
Or because a pressure washing contractor that is, known in the industry talks about it.
Yeah.
We'd be happy to, we want you to get that soap in your bucket. We want you to dip your sponge, soap up the windows and then blade it down, see what it does for you. And if it's something that we're missing, I want to know about it.
Yeah.
We want to improve on that.
We need products out there that are going to do the job for us without having a hard time. And ABC is one of those products that I started using a lot more. I recommend 2. One of them's a follower of ITF, the Into the Flow group, and the other one's another moderator from Texas. And they were doing a roof job, which was a metal roof. And he went on the group and said, like, hey, what do you guys recommend? I previously had done a metal roof job and I used EBC. I sprayed it on there. I let it dwell, rinse it off, and that roof was shiny. So I told him, hey, use this product. You're not used to it yet. Use it. Keep your roof wet. Make sure it doesn't dry up on you, and let me know what you think. He went out there and he's like, oh my God, dude.
Did it work out for him?
It worked out for him really good. He was really impressed, and he told me, hey, I'm going to use it.
And that's the thing about EBC, that we've always tried to not push that message, but the obvious message is that EBC is a true
multi-purpose,
versatile product. And I remember, early on in my career with pressure washing, is that when you did gas stations or you did dumpster pads, you were dealing with caustic soap plastic flakes,
Mhm.
attach, and that was your soap. And then when you did a building, then you had to switch to another soap. And when you did interior work, you had to switch to another soap.
Mhm.
And that was the technology, that was the standard back then. And that was one of the other reasons why, I launched EBC, because it is a true multi-purpose cleaner slash degreaser. It has the impact that you need for your dumpster pads, for your gas pumps, your oil removal on driveways, but it's subtle enough that you can spit it in your house wash mix and get it on a building and not only clean it, compatible to SH, but the third part of this, which is really impressive, is that it leaves those windows
Shiny.
looking really, really
With
so,
no agitation, with minimal agitation required sometimes. Minimal.
yeah.
Very heavy glass that's like kind of oxidized already. Sometimes you got to give it a little scrub, but it does on your maintenance work. EBC, glide, and then mix is going to make a big deal. You rarely have to come back and like, oh, I think I need a water filter. We use it on there just to prevent water spots because we have to wash a whole building down, and
Right.
then we come back around and do the glass, and we're like, man, this glass looks really clean. I said, I don't have to clean this one. And I'm like, okay, so and that's how we go, but we make sure we thoroughly rinse them just to avoid having to come back and do that. Or if the customer is willing to pay, for us to turn back around and do hand cleaning, we're gonna hand clean it. But hey, we're charging already for this service on there. But it's a very good product, man. And
Yeah, I appreciate it. I really do. I really do. Yeah, it's
Thank
done
you.
well for us, and we're really excited about that.
Yeah, thank you for all your hard work on getting that stuff, perfected for us. And as it gets in different people's hands, you're gonna get different feedback and hopefully make better improvements to it if it needs.
Oh,
But
yeah, it's this industry from a manufacturing standpoint, when you're on a different stage, I guess if you will, and it also applies with your contracts.
Mhm.
Those out there that are listening that are doing pressure washing, that are doing window accounts, where you get difference of opinions about your business or certain things, and it's the key to moving forward is keep your blinders on and stay focused
Stay focused
on what matters.
overall. Yeah.
There's always going to be someone out there that thinks they're better than you, and they're going to try to prove that by just trying to discredit you. And I think for us, we've done a very good job of keeping our name clean through all the ups and downs in the industry. It's not a joyride of what we do every single day. There's just a ton of work. We all make mistakes. We say the wrong thing sometimes, and you kind of look back and say, oh, I regret saying that. But one of the keys to success is just know what you want to do, know what you want to accomplish, and go for it.
Right.
And it's okay to make mistakes. It's okay to fumble the ball. It's okay not to be Superman for everybody 24/7, 7 days a week.
Right.
And then the balance there is, for those that are married, for those that have family, it takes a very unique mindset
It is
to juggle all this. And at times it can get
really hard.
difficult. You focus too much on your business, then the daughter, the son, the wife feels neglected. So for those that are listening, as you journey down this road and continue to make lasting impressions with clients, and you're making a ton of money that you've never made before, because you worked a 9 to 5 in a cubicle and you had to ask permission to take off. You have your freedom now. You are the owner of your business. You are the decision maker.
Mhm.
And it's okay to take an afternoon off and take the son to the park to throw the football or the baseball, or surprise your wife, with an afternoon matinee if she's not working. The grind, for some reason, we're focused on this 24/7 grind that we have to do this, we have to do this, we have to do this now today. well, why can't I wait tomorrow? No, I have to do it today. And I get it in this, I get into that trance as well. And sometimes you have to tap those brakes and ask yourself,
You got to hit that cruise control.
why am I in this in the first place?
Right.
More time, more quality time to have free time. And if you're out there, from sunup to sundown, chasing that almighty dollar, yeah, nothing wrong with that. After you get it and you look over your shoulder and your family's not there anymore, at what price? So I think, the message that, that I would want people to understand and really try to absorb it is that live your life on your terms and really enjoy what you're doing today. Keep it in check, and, spread the love. Fernando, I mentioned that I met you, I watched you come up through the industry. You serve on several boards, I think, right now, correct? Right.
Just started.
And one thing that I've noticed with you, and I'm so happy to have met you, is that you take the time to help educate the industry. You take the time to give an encouraging word on Facebook to maybe someone that is struggling. And we all been there. You certainly have been there. You can go back to your first days as a window cleaner, as a pressure washing contractor.
Right here, right behind me.
Exactly. And you could pick the exact month that you felt like throwing in the towel.
Yeah.
And we all have our stories. And that's what's so unique about our industry is that, when we come together at conventions like the TWNA or the Window Cleaning Association convention that you guys have every year, it's the dynamics is so cool to interact, to finally meet people that you've, met on Facebook. And that's the beauty of this industry. And that's why I'll always, try to remain part of this industry is that, the vibe there, yeah, you're going to have bad days. You have people that's going to talk crap about you all day long. It is what it is.
Yep. Just enjoy it, have a good day, and then move on.
Yep.
Yeah, it's another year. But well, Carlos, hey, I don't want to take up any much more of your time, man. But you know what? It was a pleasure having you here today. Thank you for sharing that knowledge and encouraging all of our viewers. Hopefully we get to do this later down the road, and we'll see a little more history on ABC and what you have done. We want to do
Absolutely. I appreciate the time.
No problem.
Thank you so much.
And we'll definitely keep this going. Flowmies, thank you guys for tuning in. And once again, a little round of applause here for Mr. Carlos Gonzalez. I appreciate your time. You guys have a good one.
Thank you, sir.